One of the goals in designing the curriculum was to make this larger repository of Indian knowledge accessible. Okay, currently the biggest problem is it is too intimidating for the average English medium educated person. A lot of it is hidden behind dozens of shastras, commentaries, and they were written in context a few centuries ago, and it's very difficult for people to understand its reason for existence. Right? So, like I said, to understand those shastras conceptually and as models is one of our goals in the curriculum. Whatever be the discipline you take, economics, management, computer science, whatever. So, there is a set of specific courses. We sort of want to give a common set of courses to all disciplines, which will give them a different way of looking at contemporary problems. Basically, when somebody says we're going to teach you scientific way of thinking, what I mean is we'll tell you a way to look at things scientifically from the Indian perspective. How do we look at things scientifically from the Vedic drishti, Shastra drishti, for example. Now, when somebody says I'm going to teach you, let's say one course says I'm going to teach you how to communicate and debate. So what we are saying, if you have an argument, how should you even structure an argument? A lot of education happens when you argue. Self-learning happens when you argue. So there is an entire science to how to debate in the Indian system. Because fundamentally it's a knowledge creation system. Its building block is this debating system. So the whole Tarka Nyaya system infrastructure is built to create knowledge. Right? So that should be taught to systems, and once they know what it actually means, it is massively influential in the way it is used as a tool to educate and engage in social media. Simple example, and engage with your community around you and engage with yourself internally to actually bring out the best. Right? So the ability to look at things in unbiased form and the structured way of debating, structured way of arriving at the truth. So the end result should always be arriving at truth. Truth cannot be different for different people. There's always only one truth. Right? And people sort of, the larger misunderstanding is facts represent truth. Facts need not represent truth. The truth is something that happens in the larger context of balance. Right? So fundamentally the universe, the world around you has to be balanced in the towards dharma. So anything which is towards adharma is not the truth. That realization should be there. So when people, why do when people see a bad thing, they know it is bad. Right? You show a picture of an accident or a murder to an animal, it will not know it's a bad thing. But any human being, even let's say a toddler, will know something is wrong in that image. There is pain in that image. So the natural notion of good or bad which is there should be sort of applied across all domains. So even to get that natural sense of fairness, natural sense of how is what I am learning, is what I am doing causing dharma. Now if that is sort of undercurrent is put into the student, irrespective of the domain his discipline is in, automatically he is on the path of using Indian knowledge systems for the larger cause. So that is one of the sort of, I will say, principles that we are using for the curriculum design. So we are like around, I think 2035 would be 200 years of Macaulay's minute. Okay, 1835, 2035. So my sort of personal take, or rather the conversations I have with people is, at least by 2035, we should have an alternative path to be beholden to a Western foreign model. I would not say it is bad or good, just the fact that it is not part of this, the whole structuring of knowledge is not part of this civilization. So even the British records themselves say at what an advanced education we were before they came. Right? All of that is known. And even after knowing that, and even with very good sort of policies in the government in terms of the NEP and the larger efforts from the top down, the real transformation will happen if this happens in every family. Right? So the Indian transformation does not happen at the individual level. It hardly happens. So even if you look at let's say unit of 5, let's say a billion people. So even if you get 250 million units of families to sort of align along this path of everything that we need to do together as a community, as a group, has to be towards harmony. Right? Whatever I might be engineer, doctor, businessman, stockbroker, whatever. So the larger good, if they just align it to their daily existence and not sort of get provoked by mindless consumerism, that will be a huge say. And given the way economy is going, I think the Indian consumer can control the trajectory of global multinationals by deciding what they want to buy, what they don't want to buy. So larger goal is how do you make the whole, not just the student per se, that student should go and transform a family. And then you have, instead of when I educate one person, you should go and impact 7 people around him instantly. Right? So automatically the consumer profile will change. That is when the larger good will happen. So we don't need to convert about 1 billion people. Even if we do 1/7, 1/8, the impact will happen. So that's the way to look at the educational transformation. Bottom up transformation will happen. It will happen very fast, but they need to sow the seeds properly. So that is how I see the whole story evolving. And I think educators understand the problem and they know this can happen quickly if they actually put in the right efforts.